Never stop. You know, insanity is described or defined as extreme foolishness or irrationality. You know, I'm sure we've all heard the definition credited to Albert Einstein, stating that insanity is essentially doing the same thing over and over while expecting different results. When a person is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting something different to happen, that seems kind of foolish. But if that's the case, then what do you say to the dreamer? What do you say to the individual who has a passion or a goal that they can't see themselves giving up on? The individual whose ambition fuels their daily movement. Are they naive for going after that dream that they failed at multiple times? Are they foolish for thinking that the fifth time is going to be the one that takes them over the top? Are they crazy for not ignoring defeat? By definition, they are insane. During my career, I've become very familiar with failure from a traditional sense. I've attempted to create 3 mobile apps that at the time I thought would all be game changers, and when it came time to release them or when they were put out, they all failed miserably. When my business partner and I were working on our first app, the Ninja Clock, we thought that that was going to absolutely destroy and kill inside the marketplace. The basic idea was that you'd be able to check your time on your phone without having to take it out. You tap your phone and you'd be able to interpret the time via various vibrations and sound effects. The idea in our eyes was amazing and it was completely unique. I guess in reality, nobody really cared. That was one of my first experiences failing at a goal that I put tons of time and effort to achieve. But it's just one failure, right? No big deal. So, you know, we go right back at it and we try to create another app, and specifically a game called Linearis. Now this is going to be the one. There was no concept, no consideration, no idea of it not being successful because we had not seen it done before in the store at the time, and so it was destined to be a hit. It took 4 years to make, and that is a very long time to create a match freestyle game. There were a lot of mistakes along the process, but after it was all said and done, we were very confident that this would be a big hit. We believed we had something, and so we put our entire being into that game. We sent hundreds and hundreds of emails to various game companies and websites. We were so confident that we even contacted a very popular game publisher at the time in efforts to have the game mass marketed. And we don't believe we were that naive at the time because we felt like we studied the market. We hadn't seen a game like ours in the store at that point, so we were really confident. We figured that everything would go pretty smooth once the publisher saw our app. I mean, there was no way they could not see what we were doing here. And I guess after the publisher rejected it, that was another gut punch. Another failure, another gut punch, but hey, before you can succeed, you have to fail. So we took some time off, and then we're right back at it with our next app called Loudmouth Gridiron. With this app, we actually try to be a little bit more methodical in how we marketed the app. We actually partnered with a company, and we had a pretty unique strategy in terms of garnering downloads. Unfortunately, that app did not take off either. I guess the positive is that it only took us about 7 months to make. I bring up these stories for a few reasons. Number one, each time you put yourself out there and you set out to achieve a goal, you can fall flat on your face. Number two, just because you put tons of work into something, it doesn't mean that you will necessarily see the success that you want to see. But lastly, and more importantly, the good news is that each time you set out to achieve your dream, you get to start with a fresh slate. Now, knowing that you get to start off with a fresh slate, it's invigorating, it's energizing, it can help you discard your past failures and allow you to zone in and focus on the task at hand. It can motivate you to believe in the possibility of success, even though you've yet to see it. I guess having that fresh slate is awesome, right? New opportunity, new chance, but is that also leading to insanity? I've asked myself that over and over after every failure I've ever experienced, and I've come to the conclusion that, quote unquote, insanity it is. I don't see any other way. And I want to tell you not to give up on whatever you're going after. Every mistake you make should be a mistake you don't repeat. After you fail, because you're going to fail at various points, you need to learn from it and prepare as much as possible for the next launch, because there has to be another launch. This can't be the final takeoff. Failure is a part of the process that leads to success. And I say this not having experienced the success that I'm speaking of, but I trust it. I'm not stopping. And neither should you. Embrace your insanity. As you go after your goal, be cautious and critical in your preparation, but be free and loose when you attack. Don't let failure or fear or frustration thwart your attempt. Very few people come winning right out the gate. For many of us, it seems like losses are a rite of passage. And I'm not saying this because I've taken tons of L's. Well, maybe I'm saying it a little bit because I've taken L's, but hey, I'm human. But practically every successful person that I've watched had to crash first. I'll admit that the letdowns and failures in the moment, they are uncomfortable and they could make you want to give up completely. But with the right perspective, they can build character. Let the losses fuel you because they do not have to define you. Maybe this viewpoint is crazy. Not letting the knockdowns knock you off course. By definition, I am indeed insane. But at this very moment, I can't see being anything else.